We clean computers. Kasama na rin yung excellent cable management namin and CPU cooler repasting sa cleaning. We also clean and repaste GPUs. Nasa Makati yung physical store namin and you can also buy from our site www.hwsugar.ph na 100% palaging up-to-date yung inventory dun. Kung in-stock yung item sa amin, available yun sa site. We also ship nationwide. Thanks for watching and maybe one of these days, magkita tayo sa shop. Paminsan may nagtatanong kung may kilala ba kaming computer shop na trusted, yung hindi ka lolokohin. Actually, meron. Kami. Full-service PC store ang Hardware Sugar. Nagbabenta kami ng PC components. Nagbabenta rin kami ng fully assembled rigs. We clean computers. Thanks for watching. Kasama and maybe one of these excellent cable management namin and CPU cooler repasting sa cleaning. We also clean and repaste GPUs. Nasa Makati yung physical store namin and you can also buy from our site. Alright, what's up guys? Good evening. Welcome to another First Friday. And as always with our First Fridays, we're doing Puwede Magtanong, our live tech advice show where basically you can send in your messages via Facebook or YouTube because we have that covered already. Like, naayos na namin yung multi-streaming namin. Hey, what happened? I saw a message and then nawala. Let me check on that. But I was able to stream successfully yesterday. So hopefully, and then with the chats and everything. There was some choppiness at the end of yesterday's stream. I think actually that was because nag-low bat na yung laptop ko. And I needed to plug it in when it goes into low bat mode. Sup, Clueless Human? Sup, Dark Knight Sora? Sup, guys? No, this is still the Elgato Wave 1 that I use. So it's physically plugged into my laptop here. I do have a Rode. Like, I bought a Rode mic from the States, like, discounted kasi secondhand siya. It came in like maybe a couple of weeks ago, but I just haven't had the time to set it up properly. But siguro by next year, I'll be trying to integrate that into my work setup, especially for the videos. So going back to what happened yesterday, I think the stream became choppy not because of my internet, in fairness to Converge, but because the laptop was going into power saving mode. And when it does that, it has to cut back on CPU cycles. So the PC was physically getting slower. In order to save power, I forgot to plug in the laptop, which I have done already. It was kind of weird kasi, okay. Wait, alright, sunod-sunod yung mga messages. It was kind of weird because it's the first time that I had encountered something like that. So I'll go through your chat, I'll go through chat and I will explain a little bit about my laptop. And this chair, this is the Neutral, spelled weird. It's not N-U-T-R-A-L, it's N-E-W-T-R-A-L, Neutral Freedom X chair, of which we're going to do a sponsored review of, but I will give you guys a short tour of it right after this ad break. So see you after the ad.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffer.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder.
Hanapin ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred payment method. Wala pang 5 minutes, nagsisigi ka na para sa Windows mo.
Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, sad and depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life.
Dati, aimless and walang purpose ang life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko.
Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkeyoffer.com.
Check out cdkeyoffer.com.
Check out cdkeyoffer.com. All right, so I'll bloody chair. Like let's talk about the chair for a little bit, and then Sup P, ergonomic chair. Okay, wait, hang on. Okay, now having the mic tethered to the laptop makes me want to sana use the Rode already. So this is the Neutral Freedom X, and it is a versatile chair. It's hard to tell with this camera angle, but you can lower the armrests all the way down. so that you can have them at really any angle which is comfortable, and then the backrest also goes down. So its claim to fame is that it gives you a lot of flexibility, and I am quite liking it actually. I thought it was kind of like a gimmick before, but now I can just go Indian sit. Apparently it's not politically correct anymore to say Indian sit. My daughter, who is 4 years old, if you were in last night's stream, you saw her. She calls it crisscross applesauce now. But I mean, growing up, when you sit like this, it's just like automatic. I mean, the term, and we didn't mean it in an offensive way. It's just Indian sit. But so if you do crisscross applesauce or sit with your legs like this, it's actually quite comfortable. And the video we have coming out next week, it's like me in different positions. Like I'm lying flat on the chair. My legs are sprawled over one part, and then this is the other part, and things like that. So actually, I felt it was a little gimmicky, pero okay naman siya. It's pretty good. Sige, all right. Okay, sup, Eric Ray? I saw you in chat. Eric Ray, yes. Thank you for being a YouTube member. Sup? Why is the emoji wall not showing up? Can somebody do like an emoji, like a whole string of emojis, para we can see if the emoji wall is working? Sup, Zedekiah? We don't have any yet. I haven't seen any in the supplier lists. But for sure, kung dumating sa Pinas, we'll be able to get naman. We probably won't stock. Although the last time when Archmage is that what they called their first one? When the first generation came out, we were able to get naman as custom order, like the A750. And we had a customer who liked them a lot. Oh, sup, thank you for the emoji wall. I do see the tinkling glasses flying around. Thanks for that. Thank you. Thank you, Achi. So, yeah, we don't have any ETA yet on the new... All right, there, emoji wall. Thanks, guys. Thanks. There you go. I know, that's the nice thing about using this setup that I have now. It's completely free. It allows me to stream to multiple platforms at the same time, because before I had to pay for that, and then now I have full OBS functionality, so I can do whatever layout I want, and we can do things like this, like with the emoji wall and things, which we couldn't do before. So so that's pretty fun. Just wanted to make sure it was working. All right, so let's start off. Puwede magtanong. And as another special treat, at the end of tonight's stream, we will raffle away 2 coolers. There. So if you've watched our giveaways before, you know this is how we do it. We collate all of the eligible entries, because you can have multiple entries. Sorry, no, you can't join anymore. The deadline was yesterday. So we collate all of the entries and we randomly draw them live on our stream. So we have 2 coolers to give away, the Snowman MT660 and then the Snowman MT620. So it's the 660 and the 620. To be honest, I don't remember which one is which. I can't remember which one's the black one and which one's the white one. For more information, you can check out our review video, which dropped a couple of days ago. Yep. All right, but let us get to the streams. No, I'm still using the Elgato Wave 1. I have bought a secondhand Rode. I'm not sure if it's the NT Mini. I'm a bit clueless, to be honest, about these AV equipment. Still very much learning. Although I am already on my 2nd generation camera, because I basically broke my first Sony ZV-E10, which I liked a lot. So now we have the EV-10 Mark II, which has a tendency to overheat. And you'll notice that I'm not the best at the whole audio-visual thing, because I have a light here and it's shining down on me, but my whole face is in shadow. Thank you for the emoji wall. Pika pika. Pick 4. Thank you, Hardware Sugar, sa mga informative videos. Thank you so much. I really, to be honest, I really appreciate it when we see comments na we've been able to help people. It's a really good feeling. And, in a small way, you feel like it's a concrete, tangible thing that we've all contributed to, like all of us on the team, to making, someone's lives just a little bit better. And also, and the techs get double that when we have builds, like we do computer builds for people, we recommend parts to people, they buy from us, and then they come back to us and say, I really appreciate the time that you took for your customer service and things like that. I think it's a tangible way. It's a very real kind of service thing that we can do that, can make other people's lives just a tiny bit better. So thank you. We always appreciate comments like that. Sup, Dark Knight Sora, I will get to your question on the in-play PSUs. Chester, all right. Be buying a new system unit. My current is an i5 10400 plus 1650 Super. Planning to buy a new setup. Better deal. R5. I like that both of these are Ryzen setup. So Chester is coming from an Intel setup. But to be honest, Intel is just not that great these days. The latest Ultra line, the problems they've been having with the 14th gen and 13th gen. And we can attest from that from personal experience because some of our customers have had those problems with 13th and 14th gen. Sobrang tagal nung RMA. Like Intel makes... usually what happens in an RMA for whatever product, us, the shop, the retailer, sends it back to the distributor. And for a lot of times, we just deal directly with the distributor. But Intel, when it comes to their CPUs na nasunog, like they basically burn themselves up trying to run faster because of some error or another, which, people are... Intel's pointing at the mobile manufacturers. The mobile manufacturers are like, but we're just going based on the things that you said. So... but whoever's at fault, it's definitely not the consumer. It's definitely not the shop who sold it to the consumer. But, kami talaga yung naiipit. But when we send it back to the distributor is under special instructions from Intel na they have to send the chip back to Intel. Kaya sobrang bagal. It's really hard to recommend to Intel builds these days. So I like that Chester has, decided to switch from AMD to Intel. If there are specific workloads that maybe we would recommend an Intel build, but like for gaming or anything like that, we just recommend Ryzen. I've been on a Ryzen system for a while now, and I'm very happy with it. But to go back to Chester's specific question, basically this boils down to, do you want to go with AM4 or AM5? For me, for gaming, I would go with the R7 5600X3D because that is a very capable CPU for gaming because of the additional cache. That's what the X3D, the last part of the CPU designation, X3D, means that it has additional cache, which has proven to be very good. Games love additional cache. Basically, the CPU can tap into that additional memory a lot faster because of the way the CPU is designed. Games do take advantage of that. So you're basically getting the same GPU and you're wondering... should you go with an AM4 platform? That's a 5700X3D and the AM5 or the AM5 platform, which is the 7500F. Me personally, I would go with AM4, DDR4, rock solid, still stable. I know you're thinking like, well, AM5 has better upgrade opportunities and things like that. But with this rig, the 5700X3D and a 4060, you'll still be gaming for... That's still a very solid gaming setup already. Plus, when it does come time to upgrade, you don't necessarily need to upgrade the CPU. You can upgrade the GPU. But again, I'm looking at it from a gaming perspective. Kung gaming, I would just go with the AM4 5600X3D. To be fair, I think this is an unfair characterization of in-play. We don't sell a lot of their PSUs, but we also don't get a lot na... people come to us for diagnostics. They didn't buy the system from us, but we can do diagnostics. And then, do I want to go crazy with to show off the neutral Freedom X or just like lounge around? All right. This is a very informal stream. All right. But yeah, just to show what the neutral can do. So I have the right armrest kind of like as a footrest, and then the left footrest, the left armrest is supporting my back. And then we can lower this guy down so it becomes the armrest. Yeah, and so actually this is quite comfy. Like I can lounge around like this. All right. So, but I mean, to go back to the question, sorry, there's so many chats. I mean, that's the problem with Puwede Magtanong. I am always very tardy kasi ang daldal ko eh. Like, dami kong sinasabi per question. But to be fair, like, ito ang in-play PSU, I don't, like, I've seen a bunch of comments on our YouTube channel. I don't necessarily think that they're the worst example of garantisabog. So I personally don't feel that I would describe them like that. I mean, InPlay is still branded naman. Hindi naman siya yung generic PSU na di mo alam saan galing, di mo alam what's the reputation behind that brand, what's their history. So InPlay is not top tier in the sense na hindi siya FSP, hindi siya Corsair, hindi siya Seasonic. But even those guys, Corsair, Seasonic, even those guys eventually, FSP even those guys eventually fail. So I think maybe undeserved yung reputation in InPlay. And again, I'm not biased because we don't even sell InPlay in store. I'm not sure if we can get it as I'm not even sure if we can get it as a custom order actually. Because we don't deal with a lot of InPlay PSUs. But from the chatter that I've heard, oh, sup, Anton? Still pushing that 4070 Super, ah? Don't tempt me. I mean, that Camry. But maybe we'll hold off on the Camry kasi, I'm hopeful that with Bitcoin, although, Bitcoin, effing Bitcoin, went up to 102,000 yesterday, 103,000, then it crashed like just early this morning, then recovered again. Sorry, let me just pop over to Anton. Sup, Anton? So, if you guys don't know, Anton is an amazing car detailer. So, he has all these custom liquids and fluids. I've seen him in action. I trust him with my CRZ, which is a 10-year-old car, but, I am still madly in love with that car. It's still my daily driver. Love it to bits. So, Anton does amazing work on cars. And I was telling him that, I've recently started using this old Camry. And he was like, oh, let's detail it. And then parang swap tayo for services. But I might want to hold off on the Camry because we might replace it next year with BYD. Yun nga, God willing kung the crypto thing works out. Or BYD or some electric car. But if you've seen the review of my BYD, of the BYD Atto 3, which BYD kindly lent to us, I was really impressed with the BYD. My kids too. Kasi parang, my kids, I don't know how it came about. We've nicknamed all of our cars. So like, there's daddy's car, mommy's car, which got it on accident, so we don't have a mommy car anymore. Then we have Sage car, which is my daughter's car. And then when we borrowed the BYD Atto 3, I named it Mat's car. So that's my youngest son. So we had to give back. I mean, it was a loaner. We just had it for a couple of days. But my kids super enjoyed the BYD Atto 3. So much so that they still ask me, oh, when are we getting Mat's car back? And I have to tell them, no, we just borrowed it, but maybe next year. But they really like the Atto 3. All right, back to the tech questions from Lawrence. 5600X plus 7600 XT GPU. I feel like, didn't I answer this before from the same guy? Like, weren't you around yesterday? I think my answer yesterday was it's fine, but I feel that for gaming, the 7600 XTX is a little underpowered. I would like you just to go with an NVIDIA GPU, let's say like a 4060. So like this combo now is fine. Like I have no personal problems with it. Yun nga lang, I feel na medyo underpowered si 7600 XT. It's sub moniker. I would like to see a 4060 in there. No ETA, but when we can get it, we will get it. And we'll announce when we can get it, and then if anybody wants to custom order it, we can. Oh, this is the question kanina. Yun. So, if with no plans to upgrade, just go with AM4 because you're not even gonna upgrade it anyway. So, kasi performance-wise, I am for gaming, I'd go with the 5600X3D over the 7500F ata yun. P from Facebook. To be honest, Rafael, my brother, is still the expert on chairs. I've only recently started to continue his legacy with the chair reviews. So I haven't been able to get a good range. Usually the ones I've reviewed are around 6,000 up. But we do have a video on YouTube and the price was pretty good. Let me check. Sorry. Okay, we can do this. Yeah. So since I'm sharing already this one, I'm always wary about sharing my screen and then my browser because God knows what you guys are gonna see in my browser. But I do... Actually, I have a very big screen right on my... or immediately to my right. But when I angled the camera so that you could see the screen, my face naman would be in shadow. But the whole point I chose this viewpoint is that you could see the big screen. So I was kind of annoyed na hindi natuloy yun. If you go to our channel, Hardware Sugar, then you go to playlist and you scroll down to chair reviews. Yeah. This is a private list. This is where I keep the YouTube recipes, the recipes I learned from YouTube. That one is actually pretty good, that Korean marinated eggs one. Sorry, I know we have no, it's just the chairs because my brother Rafael made the chairs. Hang on. Oh, here, chair reviews. Then you go to full playlist. And then this one, here, this chair, this 1,700 ergonomic chair, not generic from Lazada, was not bad. Like, very good. So, I would, and then, so it's even like well below your budget. So I don't have anything for your specific 3,000 to 5,000 range, but if you use that as a kind of like benchmark, that 1,700 peso chair na ergonomic was pretty good. Pretty good. I was planning to buy a Gigabyte 6600. Will the price become cheaper next year? Tough call. We do price watch every month. We don't follow the 6600, I think. But just in general, I would probably say yes, just because that generation is getting a bit older and AMD might be incentivized to kind of try to phase it out of the market. So yes, hindi ko lang talaga masabi like how much. For the 6600, you're looking at 1080p gaming. So get a 24, 27 inches. There are good ones from ViewSonic. Basically, you want 1080p, 24 inches, minimum 27 inches kung kaya, and maybe like around 165 hertz. Yeah, so those are the specs that you want. And then basically, magtatalo ko na lang sa price between the different brands. You have ViewSonic, which has okay offerings at that price. Asus would be a bit pricey at that price, but I've always liked the image quality of Asus. You might even want to try Prism Plus, which we've had good experience with. We just recently did an update video on the Prism Plus monitors that we have. They are still going well naman. There are lower tier monitor brands like Gamadias, and Vision. Although I don't really have experience with them. Kuri, Kuri, also gets a lot of mentions in the comments. And next year I want to do a video where I just get monitors from all of those brands and then we'll try them out. And we'll keep them in the shop and then we'll see how they're doing 2 years later. Just like what we did with the cheap Lazada gaming monitors, which we did 2 years ago. Then we just had a follow-up video on it last month. I think we might be able to get that now, but as a custom order. I mean, definitely, I don't think we have it on stock, but if it's something I mean, we have good relations with our Lian Lee supplier. Just message us on Facebook, and then we might be able to custom order it. If it's for gaming, like you don't need something super fast, like a Ryzen 5 5600X, maybe Intel 13600K. I mean, that's basically what you're looking for. You don't need you want a decent CPU, but if it's for gaming, the GPU will be doing most of the workload, and so most of the work will be dumped on the 3060 Ti. So you can even go with an R5 5600. You don't even need the 5600X. Maybe even an Intel i5 13500 or so. I mean, those are all perfectly okay pairings with a 3060 Ti. Sup, Tay Vlogs? I remember you from last night. My still under warranty, complete with box and receipt, tapos ginamit for gaming lang, 5800 X3D. A lot. No, I don't know what the current fair market value is for the 5800 X3D, but do keep in mind that they are very much in demand because AMD has basically stopped selling them, and it's very hard to find. And we still get a lot of inquiries asking, like, they want to buy the 5800X 3D. So just take a look at what if you can still find somebody selling a brand new one, and maybe chop off 15-20%. And then I think that would be a fair price already. Kasi yun nga, medyo in demand yung 5800X 3D. For the RAM, well, you know, that one, it's a bit hard kasi 2x32. Not a lot of people look for 2x32, so it's a bit rare. 3600 megahertz is decent, and then CL18 is also decent. Yung kalaban mo lang dyan, not a lot of people would look for 64 gigabytes. So you might want to price it a bit lower than your initial thought, just so mabenta. But again, when people ask me, like, how much should I sell secondhand parts, it really depends on how motivated you are. Do you need to get rid of it? Do you want to get rid of it? If yes, then you really slash it, diba? But if you're okay naman to hold on to it, you can set the prices accordingly. Yun nga, the 5800X 3D, sobrang in demand dun. Your RAM might be less in demand because of its size, and it's generally easy to find RAM of that nature. You can, like a lot of the AIO radiators, you can open them and then remove the water and then put in distilled water. We do actually have an old video where we open up the radiator, not to replace the water inside, but because the radiator itself has failed. This is the MSI Core Liquid 240R. This is a video from a couple of years ago, but I'm very proud of that video because we were one of the first in the world to talk about this product from MSI, AIO siya, that just started failing. And we noticed it because a lot of our customers who we sold the Core Liquid 240R to came back to us and like, you know, I don't understand why my CPU is running so hot. And when we checked it, sobrang init nga. And then we determined it was because the AIO had failed, and it had failed because the water was no longer circulating properly inside. Because the way the AIO works is that it gets the heat from the CPU. Basically, it transfers that heat to the radiator via water. So the water heats up. That's the medium. That's the way that it transfers the heat to the radiator. And the radiator, that's its job. It literally radiates the heat. It expels the heat out. That's why you want a bunch of fans blowing air away from the radiator so that the heat gets pulled away from the radiator. So if the liquid can't circulate in an AIO, then there's no way that the CPU will become cool, or there's no way it can cool the AIO. So when we opened it up, we saw a bunch of gunk, and so we made a video about it, which was, you know, MSI is a big brand, and if MSI is like, who is this Pipichugan shop in this Pipichugan channel who's complaining about our products? I mean, it could have gone bad for us, right, as a retailer. But we noticed the problem, we did a video about the problem, and yeah, we were very honest about it to our customers also. Like, if you go back to our posts from that time, how we dealt with that product, we basically went all out. We gave the customers full refund. Kasi alam nga naman, you give them another Core Liquid 240R because it was a problem with the manufacturing process. MSI, to be fair, acknowledged the problem, said that it was a bad batch. There was a problem with the manufacturing process, and they were quite nice about it, even to us directly. Like, they gave us a bunch of the generation after that na AIOs to try out and to review, and we still have some in the shop. Like there's a 360mm rad AIO, I forget the name, the Mag something, which was a pretty decent cooler naman. But I was really proud of that because it's something that we noticed from our customers. So it's not something that other YouTube channels would have noticed kasi it came from our unique perspective as a shop na, we're seeing a lot of returns, and that's really weird. And it's just this one specific part. And then it took courage, I think, on our part to do that video kasi, you know, there could have been repercussions if the brand had gotten pissed off at us, which they didn't naman, in fairness to MSI, but we didn't know that at the time, right, when we released that video. So I thought it was a very good example of what we can do, like unique content from our unique perspective, still being honest with our experiences and with balancing the needs of the shop, the needs to educate the general public. It was something not just unique to the Philippine market. This was something that was sold all throughout the world. And Greg Salazar had a video about it, a much larger YouTuber. But I believe that ours was first before Greg had a video about it. So Yeah, even years later, I'm still very proud that we did that investigation of the Core Liquid 240R. But yes, there is a way. But you'd have to check your specific AIO because generally manufacturers don't want you monkeying around with that. Probably gonna void some warranty or something. Or there might even be some AIOs that don't let you. Although I believe most have some kind of way to vent or to remove or to drain the water from the radiator. Pick 4. Thank you. Always good to hear. I have not seen it in action. So it's cool. It's cool in the sense that it's an interesting concept. I don't know the cooling performance, like the actual thermals and heat dissipation, heat buildup. I don't quite know if they're any good. I haven't actually seen any reviews about it. So I would have very limited. Sup, Martin? Thank you for being a silent viewer. Thank you for watching. And thanks also to everyone for watching. Really, it's kind of crazy when we have strangers like occasionally, like I'm just outside on the street and people come to me and like, yeah, they say thank you for the videos and stuff. It's really been it's been kind of wild. So thank you to everyone for watching. So, but for this one. I really have no knowledge about this particular desk case, so I can't comment intelligently about it. I think it might be wild. Just it would be good content if like to do a delivery. We do have a van or a closed type van that we could use, so it's actually not outside of the realm of possibility. So yes, I would be interested. Like that would be good content. Like we bundle up because I could drive the van, but like I would need help bringing or unloading the desk, right? So like I'd have to bring 2 guys with me. Then they could also do the case transplant. So actually that would be good content. So yes, we would be open to that. Please message us on Facebook. And then we would have to also check with our supplier if available siya. Pero feeling ko baka kaya yun eh. Rafael is actually in the States studying. Actually, he's finished studying already. So he finished his Masters of Laws. And then he is starting to find work there in the States. So I do not know if he's coming home for good. Or if he, how long. He might not come home in the near future. So, although he is coming home for Christmas, but that's just a vacation. But like actually coming back to stay and work and maybe help out with the channel and the shop again. That is up in the air. Like probably not actually if I had to bet on it. A data for iPhone, the USB one. We got it as a custom order if I remember correctly. Wait, let me check if that was A data. We posted about it yesterday. Not yesterday. Like a couple of, maybe like 6 weeks ago. Hang on, let me check on our Facebook here. If that was A data. Hang on, So I'm looking at the big screen so that I can see where we posted. I know we posted, I think it was A data. We got it as a custom order. Hang on, sorry. Scroll. Man, I'm hungry. I haven't had lunch. I haven't had dinner. And my lunch was like super healthy. I'm gonna eat after this. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah. The A data SC750. Wait, let me share the screen, I'm like, why is this my face? I'm like, oh, because my the way I have it set up is I'm covering the information that we want. Oh wait, let me just move the the screen. Duh. Oh, but that's not so good either. Gosh darn it. All right. Not so good. Anyway, just go to our Facebook. It was the November 18 post. And then, yeah, we had a whole thing about the ADATA SC750. You plug it in. And then, yeah, it basically increases by a lot the storage on your Apple device, which you need because the Apple, what do they call it? The ProRes. Hang on, I know we talked about it also. Yeah, it's USB-C. And yeah, the ProRes eats up a lot of memory. And yeah, you just plug it in and it's good to go. Yep. Oh, what's up, Jericho? Are you in town? If you're deployed, safe travels over there. So Joshua Bikalan, yes, we do. We can get it as a custom order. As for custom order, we do require full payment. Poise, I can't speak for TWU. Hindi ko rin masabi. Like I haven't been tracking their. Oh. All right. Yeah, Montes Rock. I knew that you knew my brother from outside of the channel because usually people who know him from the channel call him Rafael, but you're calling him Rocky. So I'm pretty sure na you knew him from before. I'm actually in our house now, our house where we used to play before. Although they have since tore down the old house, so this is a new house that I'm in now. But I'm still in the same place. But actually, everybody's gone. My parents are in the States. Rocky's also in the States. I came here because I shot the video for the Freedom X chair here. Then I decided to live stream na rin here. Because if you were watching yesterday, you know that my children who are at home have a tendency to jump in on the stream. All right, let me just reposition. Big difference between Lian Li Dan A3 versus the AP201. We've done a lot of builds in the Dan A3, but not me. Like, I don't have personal experience with it. Pero di ba ITX case yan? Isn't the... Okay, that's better. Isn't the Dan A3 ITX? Let me check. Hang on. Oh no, I'm opening so many tabs. I hope my laptop... Hang in there, baby. Oh, actually, it's like a Google search. Dan A3 versus AP201. But I thought the Dan A3 was... Oh, it is an MATX. Okay. Sorry, I thought... to be honest, I thought that was an ITX case. I don't have a lot of experience kasi mismo with the A3. Like the shop, like the boys in the shop, the guys in the shop have a lot of experience with it. I don't think... but ako, I have a lot of experience with the AP201, like personal experience. I really like that case. So I'm sorry, I can't really compare the two because I only have experience with the one. But the AP201, ganda ng airflow, ganda ng build quality, love the AP201. Whether like versus the Dan A3, you would have to ask the guys in the shop. Just message us on Facebook. The guys in the shop will reply because they have experience with both. And they have extensive experience with both cases. So they can really give you an in-depth like which one is better kind of thing. Sup, Drejen Project. Thank you for tuning in today and yesterday. Sup, Casey Bolyos. Sorry, Casey Bolyos. And then to answer the question of Drejen Project, no. I think DDR4, if new platforms, of course, like if you're on AM5 and then Intel's 14th gen up, although I think you can still get some 14th gen DDR4 if I remember correctly. But I've tried to expel all Intel content from my mind for CPUs because they're just not worth it anymore. Pero I think you can still get 14th gen DDR4 if I remember correctly. But I think it will still be around just because AM4 as a platform is not going anywhere, at least for the next 3 or 4 years. And then we live in the Philippines. Dagdag mo pa dun that, our market is the Philippine market where products have a long... no products die in the Philippines. I mean, we're talking about a country that you can still buy FM2 builds, like the old AMD FM2 ones. So DDR3 is still a thing. Like, you can still get DDR3. So matagal pa until DDR4, until you turn the last page on DDR4 and you say goodnight to it. But of course, I mean, if you're coming from a background that you want the latest and you want performance, DDR4, from that viewpoint, yes, then I think that we have reached the limits of DDR4 because you get an AM4 setup, you get a 5800X3D, or if it's for, you need it for other things, you get like a 5900X or a 5950X for like, me, I got it for video editing, then you get, DDR4 RAM. Yes, then that we are at the tail end of DDR4 for that. But like in terms of it just disappearing from the market, well, we're malayo pa. Malayo pa yan. Sorry, I am so behind in the chat messages na the chat manager I use is scrolling the messages up, so I can't even go back to the old ones anymore. Best 1440 GPU. I believe I answered this also yesterday, but I think maybe a different person. 4070, but don't get the 4070 because it's very close in price now to the 4070 Super, which is faster. So definitely 4070 Super, very good 2K gaming, 1440p. Then CPU, 5700X3D, 5800X3D, if you can find it, get the secondhand run from Tay Vlogs. Yeah, so any of the X3D ones, and you're good to go, really. I went silent because I'm thinking like internally, so do I want to recommend AM5 for this one? Because definitely 4070 Super, and then you go with like the 9800 X3D. Pero medyo mahal na kasi. I mean, you can still get very good 2K gaming, 5700 X3D, and then 4070 Super. Our site? Our site or the TWU site? Definitely TWU. We don't have any pull with those guys. For discounts, Hardware Sugar is discounted from like November all the way up to the end of December for all of our cleaning, all of our services. Okay, not all of our services kasi yung diagnostics hindi on sale, but let me just pull this up again. And then share screen again. God damn. Sorry. Like I want to show this part, but then my face is in it. Oh wait, sorry. I'm using OBS. Just get rid of me. Get there. Perfect. All right. So just have to think out of the box sometimes. So we are actually on sale. Yeah. For our best-selling services, our GPU cleaning, our laptop cleaning, our desktop cleaning and cable management. So that is the pin post up here, guys. If you go to our Facebook. And yes, we are on sale all the way up to the end of December for that. Oh, thank you. I did not know this. I mean, I am not going to... no, I was going to say, actually, I'm not going to patronize a competitor. But then, just to be honest, just to keep it real on the live stream or whatever. I mean, I have bought and I still buy sometimes hardware from other PC shops. I mean, and it's crazy, right? Like, I own a PC shop. I have access to different suppliers and whatnot. But sometimes it's just easier to buy it from another retail shop. And then actually, like, so I've met people in the industry. And then sometimes we message each other. Like, oy bro, may ganito ka ba na part? So even like, nag-uusap rin yung ibang PC shops amongst ourselves na, kami just get it internally amongst ourselves. So that's something we do. So, but I do not know the people behind Silicon Valley. So yeah, if there was something there that I would like, the Sopar and discounted, like, yeah, I would buy that. Apparently, they're having a warehouse sale, guys. So that is good to know. Predator chair for only 4,500. It depends what your time frame is because malayo pa si AM6. I mean, AM4, like I still feel AM5 is still new. Like, yes, they came out within the 7000 series, but 7000 was just really like kind of figuring out the architecture and medyo mahal pa siya. Now they're starting to hit their stride with the 9000 series. So, medyo matagal pa si AM6. So, it really depends on your, like, if you are thinking of upgrading within the next 2 years, that will still be AM5, I'm pretty sure. If it's maybe like a 5-year time frame, then yes, then that will be AM6. Then yun nga, it depends on your time frame. If how long in the future before you are thinking of upgrading. Because if you're thinking like you want to upgrade in the next 2 years, definitely AM5 pa rin yun. And then you want like performance now, then yeah, then you should just sirit mo na, upgrade to AM5 now. But if it's like something that you're gonna upgrade to maybe in the next 5 years pa, you could probably, that maybe AM6 will be brand new by then, probably. But then who knows if the chips they have on AM6 will be any good. So you might not want to get like the first generation. No audio? No audio? What's up, Maggie the Great? I am showing good audio on my end. Can anybody verify? We haven't sold a lot of Philips. I did have one old Philips monitor. Hindi siya gaming. Okay. Hindi siya gaming, but it lasted long naman. Oh, Moniker had a good point. Was it not the radiator that we opened up? It was the pump? I remember we had a video and we replaced the water eh. Like they drained out the water. Was it the pump? Parang I'm remembering there's like a valve at the end of the radiator. But again, I cannot quite remember. Because I was not the one who opened it. Because the guys were like, sir, can we open this? We'll film it for content. And ako like, if I hear film it for content, I'm like, okay, check, yes, go ahead. Philips monitor, we had an old one. It was good naman. It lasted, but it wasn't a gaming monitor. So I couldn't really, and I just really had one experience with it. So hard to tell from that one data point. I'm going to be honest, like my own PC, which is an open air type. So that's the Thermaltake Core P3. Kind of an old case, but I'm still digging it. That is like, yun nga, completely exposed. I have never actually cleaned it. So, like there's a lot of gunk, I'm sure, inside like the CPU cooler and then the GPU cooler. I've never had those cleaned. And the gunk is worse because nga, it's an open air case. It's not even like, it doesn't go through any filters or anything. The air just gets sucked in its raw state. That said, generally, we usually recommend 1 year. Like once a year, general cleaning. But you know, if you haven't cleaned your system for like 3 years, I mean, it'll still keep chugging along. Depende lang if like how dirty your air is and how fouled up it is inside. You know, circulation can really drastically go down. And then that's bad for the temps. Temps go up, performance goes down, longevity goes down. But you know, I don't feel the need to be super OC about it. Once every year would probably be my very casual estimate. And you know, you shouldn't feel guilty. Like if you pass the 1 year without getting it clean, 1 to 2 years, that's fine. If it has tarnished, I think that is okay. I think that is just, and I'm going to go out on a limb, so I could be wrong, but I think that's just oxidation. Like maybe it just naturally happens, but I don't think it affects performance. From what I know, but I could be wrong. What's up? Hope you're doing well, Jericho. Oh, I'm getting a call. I'm getting a call on the Hardware Sugar phone from a suspected spam caller. And then just for giggles, since we're on the stream, I'll answer it. Hello, Hardware Sugar. Hi. It was a spam call. It was from Lazada affiliates. So in fairness to whatever AI, Google, or Globe is working, I would classify Lazada affiliates as a scam. I'm still mad at Lazada up to now. Sup, JM Elizares? Yes, please do. Please message the page. Um, hard. Like I can't. We don't have any hands-on experience with it, so I'm not the kind of guy who just shoots his mouth off. Na like wala akong alam, but I feel like I should say something. Blah blah blah. Like whether that's like the content for the channel or I hope like even in my personal life, like with my friends, I hope they don't feel na yan si Anton. Walang alam pero ang daming sinasabi. So I try not to say things if I don't have something intelligent to say. So the Battle Mage one, like I have nothing intelligent to say. I don't have any hands-on experience with it yet. So yeah, so the jury's still out. So what's up, Gamer Zone? I think this is a follow-up, but then you changed it to ultra-high settings. 4070 Super, if our budget-wise, if you want the one step higher, I know there's a 4070 Ti Super, but you know, ultra-high, mag 4080 Super ka na. Oof. And then 9800X 3D. I mean, you know, if you're going for a performance build, those are basically the top of the line things that you'll be considering. I feel personally attacked here because the pronoun used was nyo. But like maybe nyo just refers to PC shops in general. I've been wanting to do a video about this for a long time because the general impression of the market, of the consumer, is that the ones who are driving up prices are the retailers. So, and again, it's because kami yung nakikita ninyo. You don't see the prices of the distributors, you don't see the actual SRPs from the brands themselves. So, yung point of contact ng consumer is the retailer. So, yung natural na sisihin for high prices is the retailer. So, I get it naman. But as someone who was a PC fan long before I set up a PC shop and who sees both the prices that other shops are putting out, as well as the prices of hardware sugar, and the distributor prices, like really, it's not us, it's you. And I might get canceled for blaming it on the consumer. But what do I mean by that is, and I mean that in a little cheeky way, like I'm actually not directly blaming the consumer, but I'm blaming the market. Basically, why things are more expensive here compared to, let's say, in the States is because our market is much smaller. Basic economics, the more you buy of something, the less you need to pay per unit. If I'm buying 1,000 tons of rice versus I buy 100,000 tons of rice, yung cost per unit of rice is much less if I buy 100,000 tons versus 1,000 tons. Ganon din sa PC market sa atin. How many GPUs do our distributors get? 300 GPUs. I think maybe 300 GPUs might be a lot already. And that's like total GPUs. I'm not even talking about just one SKU. Like total number of GPUs in a shipment, 300. Yung 300 GPUs for the American market, isang micro center lang yan sa isang linggo. I mean, you know, these are exaggerated numbers, but they really tell you the scale of the markets. So US retailers have a much larger market. They can buy at much lower prices. Sila talaga yung priority nung brands. So when it comes to the Philippine market, our distributors can only buy X amount. So the prices, the discounts that they get are also much smaller. So pagdating sa retailers, when we buy from the distributors, mahal na rin, quote-unquote mahal na rin compared to what it's like for the much larger markets like America. Take a look at Singapore. Singapore is a first world country. The consumers there are more well-heeled. Kumbaga, mas malaki yung paying capacity. They can pay a much higher price. The prices there are also high because their market is also small. So it's not like, you look, but ang mura sa America. It's because the retailers there favor their consumer because they feel that their consumer can buy more. Kawawa naman yung Philippine consumer kasi sobrang taga ng mga Philippine retail stores. Believe me, if we could offer you the prices that the American retailers can offer their consumers, I would do that in a heartbeat. Kasi consumer din ako, all of the stuff in my personal inventory, like I also source it from the hardware sugar stuff, maliit lang talaga yung patong ng retailers. Because when we get it from the distributors, mataas na yung prices, and that goes back to what I was saying, that the Philippines is a very small market in relation to other markets. So, I mean, even the way the question is phrased, Sir, bakit pagdating sa Pilipinas, doble ang patong nyo sa presyo ng GPU, CPU, and MOBO? So again, I'm trying not to feel personally attacked by the nyo and like assuming that it's just a general, you're referencing all PC shops in general. But like, to be honest, the hardware sugar loses money. I am up to my neck in debt. And I've told the guys in the shop this, that we really need to turn this around. Otherwise, there might not be a shop next year. I would love to make double. Like, I bought this GPU at 10,000. I'm selling at 20,000. I wish. Sobrang liit lang ng patong ng shop. The retailers really have it the worst kasi kami yung lowest end of the supply chain. So, mas maliit talaga yung value that we can add on, the price that we can ask for the unit. And yet, we bear the brunt of the consumer complaints, the customer complaints, because we are the point of contact. That's where the customer bought it from. And I often think sometimes na this is a really hard business, and why the heck did I get into this business in the first place? So for sure, it's not double. And it goes back to basic economics. Yun nga, we are not a large market, so when our distributors buy, the prices that they can also offer to us are much higher, and that's just the way it is. I would get a better GPU and then make sure that the GPU supports, or the program that you're using supports GPU acceleration instead of just RAM. If it were, like, and you asked a very specific thing, video encoding. If it were yung scrubbing, like yung you're previewing videos, that one I might suggest more RAM, and it would be cheaper than having to get a GPU. But like, kung video encoding, like I feel like GPU or even a CPU would be better than more RAM. Although more RAM would be the cheapest option among those. So I mean, considering that you can pick up RAM, assuming DDR4, maybe like 2,000, 3,000, you might want to try that first and see if you're happy now with the improvement. But the improvement probably would just be incremental compared to what you would feel with a GPU upgrade. But a GPU upgrade would be more expensive. Ninja Van, usually, although we can also use SF Express. Not a lot of people use SF Express, and they are more expensive. But we use them as an option because they offer more insurance to the max amount of value that we can insure with SF Express is much higher compared to Ninja Van. Although, if you want us to do LBC, we can also do LBC. All of those guys, all of the three I've mentioned, Ninja Van, LBC, and SF Express, we have sent them naman, we have sent to Mindanao and without any problems. Raven from Facebook, problem, started last night, turned on my PC, normal naman, left it saglit while doing something, bigla na lang namatay. When I tried to turn it on again, there is power going through, like the fans turn, there is an LED light. Instead of 2 power LEDs na malapit sa power switch. I'm wondering, if it were the PSU, most likely there would be no power at all. So I am 60% sure that it's not the PSU. More like, sorry. Sorry, I screwed up the percentages. I'm gonna say probably 40% it's not the GPU. More likely 60% that it might be the MOBO, or it might just be some other part. Like I'm not confident yet from what you said that we can rule out anything else. the very basic that we always recommend for that kind of situation is to reseat things. So turn everything off, turn your power off, unplug the PSU, so that literally there's no power flowing through your system. Remove your GPU, insert your GPU, remove your RAM, insert your RAM, and then from there, try it out. And then the RAM, like for me, oh, there goes the emoji wall. Thank you from Daniel. Kawai kawai. For me, it's always those kind of situations, I always suspect the RAM. So if it doesn't work with the 2 RAM sticks, assuming naka dual stick ka, I would remove 1 RAM stick and then try it. Try just 1 RAM stick and then try all the MOBO slots, all the DIMM slots on your MOBO. So play around with your RAM configurations. And then kung wala pa rin, kung ayaw pa rin mag-boot up, then that's when I would start looking at other things. We do have diagnostic services in the shop. You might want to consider sending your PC to us. We accept PCs even if they're not from us. But the basic thing that we would do, that you can do right now, would be to reseat everything, particularly the GPU and the CPU. Yung mga ganyan na it partially boots up. It doesn't really boot. It doesn't get to Windows, but there is power. The fan starts spinning. I always suspect RAM. Like, I don't know. I just have bad experience with RAM. Yeah, the CH160 has been popular. What's easier? So R5 3600 and RTX 48, an RX 480. Which to upgrade? Like if I were gaming, I would upgrade the GPU first. The R5 3600, it's a bit old. Not bad for its time. Probably still decent performance this day in the present relative. Pero you would really feel it more if you upgraded the GPU. Are you talking about the USB sticks? Mike Shinobi, the USB sticks? I don't know. There are so many on the market now. And to be honest, I've never really had a particularly bad experience with USB sticks. So much na I would have to think, anong brand ba to? And it's always failing on me. There are so many now. Apacer has, AData, and those are just the branded ones. Does Crucial have? Maybe not Crucial. But because they're all basic, they're all flash memory, so they're all just basically the same, right? Supply, we do have a Christmas sale on services. So that's our cleaning service. That is our desktop cleaning, laptop cleaning, GPU cleaning, and laptop cleaning. But for hardware, sorry, there are no plans. I have not Rocky the Programmer. Although, I don't really kasi use HDR eh. I'm still, and I got in trouble with this in one of my videos. Medyo matagal na. I'm I'm not really a fan of HDR. I don't understand why people make a big deal out of it. And some of the comments were you should use HDR. I like it. It's good. So I've always told myself that I would give HDR another chance. Good evening, Drix Front. But I have never really quite gotten around to it. So that said, I haven't had any problems, but because I also don't use HDR. Plus, I don't know when the last time I upgraded my drivers, my GPU drivers. Gamerzone, yes, I completely agree with Gamerzone's advice. Yep. Man, I am so far behind in the chat. Wow, Jesus Christ. Barcode 3, I am making a DIY NAS, network attached storage. I got 40 plus hard disks. I am planning dual PSU setup plus multiple Molex. I was I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. That's if you do it, could you please send us pictures? Because I would love to post about it. That is a pretty wild setup. B, to go to your question, is it a fire hazard? Because you have these multiple Molex to 5-port SATA going on. I do not know. Like, I honestly am not qualified to say so. We have not done anything remotely on that scale. Neither have we actually seen anything that would... Like, we've had PSUs explode in the shop. We had like a video, like we actually were able to get it on camera one time. But nothing like talagang suminde, like may ignition, so there's a spark, and they can lead to like an actual fire. Ito like pumutok lang and then may smoke, but like wala naman actual like ignition or something that would translate the fire or cause other things to catch fire. So I'm afraid I do not have an informed opinion on this, but please do let us know if you do that. I do need to play the ad again because I noticed that we've gone past the 1 hour mark, so I can get my double ad video objective for this month out of the way. So I'll see you after 50 seconds or so.
Sawa ka na ba sa unactivated Windows mo? Well, lucky you! Pinakabago mula sa cdkeyoffer.com. Windows 10 and Windows 11 activation codes. Legit, safe, at pinakamura. Madali lang umorder.
Hanapin ang Windows version na gusto mo. Piliin ang preferred payment method. Wala pang 5 minutes, nagsisigi ka na para sa Windows mo.
Marami na kaming natulungan.
Dati, sad and depressed ako. But now, I found the love of my life.
Dati, aimless and walang purpose ang life ko. But now, I'm a world-class Zumba instructor.
So, web developer ako and content creator for a YouTube channel. And ngayon, ganun pa rin ako pero activated na yung Windows ko.
Kaya kung naghahanap ka ng legit, mura, at original software,
Check out cdkeyoffer.com.
Check out cdkeyoffer.com.
Check out cdkeyoffer.com. All right. I'll answer this one. So, the PCIe 4 slots on your mobile, I'm just going to answer from my personal... Because I have been thinking about upgrading. My GPU is a 3080. I've been thinking about upgrading to the 50 series when it comes out. But I have no plans of upgrading my motherboard. So my motherboard is an X570 AM4 platform, PCIe 4. So that's my answer. Like personally for me, I would be okay with it. Of course, there is some performance lost, but not a lot really. I mean, it's something I can live with. Instead of having to replace the whole board and probably since you're there na rin the entire CPU and then RAM because you'll need DDR5 RAM. For me, it's a lot of trouble to get the latest PCIe 5 board. So I would be okay personally with buying a 5000 series GPU and then sticking it into my AM4 mobile. Yes, there is a performance drop. It is not the most optimized, not most efficient, not the ideal. But I would be okay with it considering the price to performance drop is not that bad. Considering how much I would need to shell out to get a modern or new motherboard. Depends on the model, but we've sold a bunch of LGs actually. Like there was to the Monza Barcade, the one in Arcovia Pasig. So all of those monitors came from us. All of those are LG. Actually, all the rigs actually also came from us. So we haven't heard any complaints from them. So and those are a lot of monitors. I think 15 or 20 or maybe even more. I think, and then we have also sold a bunch to varied other customers. I have a very good friend who bought an LG a couple of months ago for his son. No complaints also from him. So yes, in general, LG Ultra Gear is good, and like I can use shop experience to answer that question, but it also depends on what you need it for. So I've commented like on the durability. They seem to be good. LG also makes panels for other manufacturers. Like I'm pretty sure the PG48UQ, the ROG PG48UQ, which is my primary monitor, uses an LG flat panel. Although ROG monkeyed around with the cooling, so they did some other stuff and then the tweaks that they did and things. But the base panel, I believe, is made by LG. So durability-wise, yes, they're good. But it also depends like on the specs that you need. So that's when you want to go into what model you want to get. If you want 2K, resolution rate, what type of panel, and things like that. Congratulations, and thank you for thinking of Hardware Sugar. I have seen the Xiaomi monitor, and you know, in my experience, Xiaomi products are pretty good. Like they are surprisingly, they have such a wide range kasi. Like they have scooters, they have my air pump to pump air into the tires and my balls. The basketball. I mean, just sounded anyway. Yes. So the air compressor thing that I use to pump air into whatever I need to pump air into is also Xiaomi. The monitor light bar I have on my monitor is also Xiaomi. So the quality is pretty good. Like, I was really impressed, like all around quality. The monitor I haven't tried, but I have seen it, and I am curious to try it. JM Elizares, R5 7600, 4070 Super. All good. Also, like what I didn't mention earlier, since you have a deeper, broader market in the States, you're able to eliminate inventory more quickly. So there are incentives to, like, I want to get the latest model. I need to get rid of the old models. But here kasi, there's such, the market will not necessarily go for the latest model. So there's less incentive to discount the older models since you can probably find a buyer pa for them. So again, it's a question of the peculiarities of the market that you're in. I tried not to get triggered. I do miss me some Don Papa though. I don't know. That's a good question. I haven't actually looked at the prices of the Cebu retailers. So I can't tell like how cheap or expensive they are compared to the ones here. Most of the distributors are actually based here in Manila. And I've asked them, so what happens if somebody orders from you tapos out of Metro Manila sila? Kasi for Hardware Sugar and most of the other retailers, madali lang. Kasi when we order, free delivery naman. The distributor drops off the parts with us. But I was curious. I had directly asked one of the major distributors, so paano kung out of Metro Manila? Sagot daw nung bumibili, the shop, the cost of getting it here in Manila and then shipping it to the province. And I talked to another retailer, kapwang retailer, who his business is outside of Metro Manila, and then sagot talaga nila. So they like hire they ship them out via buses. So dito sa Manila, then they ship them out via bus. So there are different services that do that. So I don't know actually. I don't know if nakachamba ka lang that the retailer had a really good price, because I remember that people from Cebu have bought from us. Like they messaged us and then they bought stuff from us and we shipped it over to Cebu. So I'm thinking they wouldn't do that if the prices of the Cebu retailers were, substantially lower than ours. And I remember the Cebu inquiries and the Visayan inquiries in general and the customers kasi my family, my mom's family is from Cebu. She was born in Cebu. My dad's family is from Ormoc, Leyte. Makasabot at makasulti ko og Bisaya. Before the pandemic, I would visit Cebu multiple times in the year. So, I mean, it's like, it's a place I'm familiar with. So when somebody buys from Hardware Sugar from Cebu, like talagang tumatatak sa isip ko. So, and we've had a lot. I mean, not a lot, but we've had several buy from us. So I don't know. Couldn't imagine that we would have that number of people buying from us from the Visayas if the Cebu guys were a lot cheaper than us. Yeah, I interpreted the nyo naman to mean like in general. Pwede, we can use SF Express naman or LBC. I haven't seen. Sorry, I can't tell from experience. I haven't seen, and I also don't have any feedback directly. Sorry. Daniel, did you send gems? You did. Sorry, I only got your message now. Planning to upgrade my CPU. Currently on a 3400 GE. Recently got a second-hand 3050. Okay, dokes. 5600X. So you're on AM4 now with the R5 3400G. The 3050 is decent-ish enough. Good that you got it second-hand. Definitely an upgrade over your 1050 Ti. Yeah, so I would go with like an R5 5600 or an R5 5500. How much Bitcoin do I have? Not enough. I don't know how to say you're welcome in Japanese, but you're welcome. For services, yes. For hardware, sorry, no. 4060 temp when gaming on non-AAA. Generally, for GPU temps, I do not get excited or I do not get worried if it's below. Definitely if below 90, I don't get excited. Basta on load, like you're making it do something. I generally don't mind basta below 90. And even like below 95 on AAA games, I also don't really pay attention. So that's my way of saying that 73 to 79 on load is not bad. Yes, it's a non-AAA game, but you're putting it on load. Maybe the GPU just wants to put its best foot forward. I mean, kahit hindi siya AAA, it's using up, it's working. So it will get hot. So I'm not particularly worried with a range of 73 to 79. If you want to change your fan curve, wala rin naman problema. You can do that also. It's easy to do with software like MSI Afterburner, which is free. So you can tweak your fan curve and then maybe you see if you're getting better temps. The GPU fans are there to be used. So by all means, feel free to tweak the fan settings, make them kick in a bit harder, faster, at a lower temperature, at a lower threshold. But if it's just something like, I feel this is too high, I wouldn't be too concerned yet with that range. I'm a really bad person to ask about bottleneck kasi I was my old PC before and this is a PC, this is a desktop that I was using when I started streaming for Hardware Sugar. So this was during the pandemic times. It was still an i5 Intel 4690K. 4. Like, there's no 1 in front of the 4. Hindi siya 14690K. It's like, walang 14690K. Hindi siya 14600K. It's a 4690K. So that was a really old CPU even then, and I paired it with a 3080, and I really enjoyed myself. I'm like, okay, let's play Cyberpunk. So, I'm really wary kasi of these kind of people who are like, bottleneck. Kasi my thing is, you slap a really fast GPU makikinabang pa rin yung end user. Yes, there is some bottleneck, but there's so much variability in bottleneck, whether it's the settings that you have on, the game that you're playing, the specific GPU, CPU combination, the resolution that you're playing at. So, like, would I put a 3080 into an R5 3600? Definitely, if I were building a system, that wouldn't be my recommendation. But if you have an R5 3600 and then you can get a 3080 at a good price, let's say secondhand, or your friend is upgrading and he doesn't want it anymore and he wants to give it a good home, he gives you a 3080, then why the heck not, right? I mean, yes, there's a bottleneck, but you will really feel the difference in gaming. So, but like what I would pair the R5 3600 with, maybe siguro top na 4070 Super. Even then, that would have a bottleneck. So maybe like pinaka-max na talaga, maybe would be a 4060. But again, that's assuming that this is like a brand new system. And then it's kind of weird why you would put an R5 3600 in a brand new system. But like if you're upgrading and you can get nga a second-hand GPU for less, 7800 XT, 3080, maybe 3070, sure. There would be some bottleneck, but I would be okay with that. Okay. Could be. Try updating your drivers. Good evening. Sup, Rafael James. It's actually Mickey Mouse. Here, I'll show it. It's actually Mickey Mouse in the middle. But I think it's clear naman if you could see it like up close. But a lot of people actually didn't recognize it. Like they just think it's a QR without the Mickey Mouse. But it's very clear naman si Mickey. Like, so there are his ears here, and then I will not, Leah Magnaya. I will not. And then like there's his buttons here. Yeah, so it's not like a real QR code. It is Mickey Mouse. Although that would make a great shirt idea, no? Like you put an actual QR code, like parang hardware sugar or something. I don't really expect it to, because like you see the 4080 Super when it came out, at least in our market, like the 4080 Super, it came out, we didn't see a dramatic drop in the 4080 price. So I wouldn't expect it to drop anytime soon, even when the 50 series comes out. I don't know. I don't have experience with it, so I couldn't like make an intelligent opinion. Sup, Pandesal, thank you for being a YouTube member. Curious a long time. So Pandesal is talking about the underslung monitor I have here. To be honest, I'm quite proud of myself for that. Because it's an unusual place to put a monitor, but it's still useful to me. So for those who haven't seen my monitor setup, I have one directly in front of me. So that's my primary monitor. Then I have one on its right, which is in a vertical mode. So that's for my chat, for my Slack when I'm messaging people from the shop. Then on my right, I have a very old LG monitor for a secondary monitor. And then here on my right also, underslung, so it's basically waist height, is an old gaming monitor that I have. Like, that's also a long story. I won't get into it. But basically what I did there was, I really have shelves dun sa ilalim. So it's just a normal monitor mount from North Bayou, which we can get. I highly recommend North Bayou for their monitor mounts. They are very reliable. The springs on that one, sobrang tagal na nun, but they still go up and down. So it's just a regular monitor mount, which I have attached to a shelf that I have underneath there. So yeah, I can actually take a picture and then I'll post it to the YouTube members community page, so you'll be able to see it as a YouTube member, just to give you a better idea. I don't know, sorry, I think it's out of stock. Like even us na we have an ASRock supplier, we buy from them occasionally. Sorry, I just saw the Bisaya message now. Yeah, I haven't seen this one in stock. Sa imong website, rako palit, sir, Anton, kay legit niya less. Bati sa Shopee. Bati kayo sa Shopee. Yeah, so I can speak Bisaya. I can understand it a little. Makasabot ko at makasulti. And apparently Paul is a Bisaya. Not sure if from Cebu or something, but definitely Bisaya. Okay. Sorry guys. I'm starting to feel the hunger pangs. So we will end the stream. But before we end the stream, let's have the draw. And thank you again for everybody. I am on the fence. Like I have been thinking I should get one, but I'm on the fence. Maybe I should save. I'm on the fence. Oh, what's up, Lazy Cable Manager? We can get it as a custom order. We don't have one on stock. We should really get around to it. But to be honest, guys, we've been feeling a money pinch. Like the budget for the shop has been really hard lately. So we're really trying to restock only the very essential items. But we can get it naman. I mean, I understand, of course, you would want like the newer Mobos if you're going to pair it with something like the 9800 X3D. So we can get it naman as a custom order. All right, so let us, drum roll please. Let me switch back to share screen. Let me pull up other tab. And then my face. Sorry, one last pala, I forgot to mention. I mentioned yesterday that for the longest time, my laptop was really being wonky. Like, it would just blue screen and it's getting worse over time. And then you might have noticed that in some of my streams because I do use the laptop a lot to stream. You may have noticed like the assembly video for the M57 Pro cut out. I had to like restart the stream 3 times because the laptop kept crashing. Before I blamed it because I upgraded the RAM. I stuck in an additional RAM, which was not uniform with the existing RAM in the system. I don't know the CL timings. I don't know the speed. So I was like blaming myself, but it could be my fault and things like that. But I updated all of the drivers because it was just getting too bad. So I put in some effort to try to get the laptop more stable. And I was telling the stream yesterday, because I streamed Crypto Watch yesterday, I was telling the stream that it hadn't crashed yet. Unfortunately, today it crashed on me once. So it's still more stable, but the instability is still there. So I'm back to, I don't know if it's a RAM thing. But definitely, for sure, it became more stable after I updated the driver. So it could still be a thing. So I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I'll keep you guys up to date. Maybe I'll start poking around with the hardware naman. Like, I mean, one easy way to A/B test that is just to remove the new RAM, diba? But, I like having 24 gigabytes of RAM. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on that since I mentioned it yesterday. All right, so the winner of the Snowman MT660 is... drum roll, please. Kenny Sasuke, do you do a 4080 giveaway? We do not. Billy Jr. C. Garcia, we will contact you. And the 620 winner is... Oh, I saw DJ Cruz's name. R. John Ramos. Congratulations to our winners. We will be in touch. Thank you for everybody who joined, everybody who watched, and everybody who watched this stream. Tomorrow, I think we have a short, and then on Sunday, I might do a game stream. Sorry, Vigilante Gaming. I remember pala I saw a message from you asking like what my next game stream will be. I'm thinking of doing... I always forget the title of the game. The new one from Steam, na parang first person, pero parang siyang Dota. The one that I got an invite to. It's not Overwatch. Battle Realm? Not Battle Realm. I want to say Overwatch. Do you guys remember? Sorry, the beta, the game from Steam which is in beta, which is supposed to be like Dota, but it's first person. I feel the sincerity. Deadlock, thank you. Yes, thank you, Moniker. Yeah, thank you, Rafael James. Oh, I don't know why it's always like Overwatch in my mind. Ito, X-Defiant. So I think that might be the next game stream that I do. There is a gaming monitor that I want to try out, and so I'll also be using that during the stream. We got a nice budget entry level monitor from Bezel, which I want to try out, and which will also be reviewing. Yep. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good weekend. And Merry Christmas. Christmas season na pala tayo. I am happy that the stream didn't conk out. So at least the laptop was stable, internet was good. I really think what happened yesterday was the CPU was saving the laptop was saving power by cutting down on CPU cycles, and that's what caused the slowdown in the stream. All right. I am off to go home to have dinner. Have a good weekend. Never. That thing is staying with me forever.